YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Farm Flex. I made it back to the farm with that push mower that I got for my brother to use for a bush hog. Paid $15 down at a local dealer. He had it in there. Not really sure the reason why he brought it in there, but my suggestion was if I spray some carb cleaner or put some gas in it or something, it do cranks up. So I was suggesting, well, maybe they put some bad gas in it. It sat up for a while. It got trash and debris all inside of the breather. He gave this to me. This was, I guess, for it. They just had that throw to the side. So I'm going to take it off for a time or two and see what it do. Let's check the gas. Well, it actually have gas in it, so I'll just leave that gas in it and prime it up and then just see what it do. And then if not, we'll break the carburetor down and clean it out. All right. Almost. Get this at my local dealer, AutoZone. We're gonna just spray some of that up in there and just see if it'll fire off. And then if it fire off, we'll clean the carburetor. Right. Not too much, just a little squirt. Just enough to at least hear it crank and know it got potential. Oh, another thing I did forget to do, check the oil. Let me check the oil. Don't know if you guys can see it, but oil's pretty good. You can see it's finna drip off. So all look good, but we'll change it. We're just leaving it in there just to crank it up right now. Now remember, guys, I did spray some carb cleaner in it. I did spray some carb cleaner. Well, I guess we'll try some gas, you guys. Not much, just a little bit. Awesome. All right. So I'm gonna bring it back up and we're gonna break it down. Okay. First thing first, for cleaning this carburetor kit, you're gonna need a little cheap ratchet set. I actually got this ratchet set down at my local parts store. Can of carb cleaner, of course. And you can order these things off Amazon, eBay, anything like that. They're like jet punchers. Instead of looking for a piece of wire or something to poke down into it, these here pretty much got all different sizes on it. So let's get started. First thing first is gonna be 2 5/16 bolts, screws rather, inside of the carburetor itself. Okay, we're gonna pull the handy dandy out, get an extension, get me a reducer. I said 5/16. Let me check that and make sure it's right. 5/16. Actually, the 5/16 are on the housing of the air breather, where the air filter goes. I knew it was 2 5/16 on there somewhere. I done did a million of these things. And then to make it a whole lot easier, you guys, I get a little set that got a screwdriver in it where I can just take it and unscrew it. I usually use my impact, but I don't like using my impact on all this plastic and aluminum stuff. Mainly just body parts, blades, and different things of that nature. You just don't know. You're gonna be bush hogging with a push mower. All right, we're gonna take those 2 bolts out, 2 5/16. We're gonna put them there, put that socket there. Those bolts, rather screws, are gonna be, we're gonna try a 7mm. That'll work. That's one. 7mm, they like screws. These are more like nuts, bolts type. Looks like a fairly good push mower. I guess the price they probably would have paid the local dealer to fix it. You know, I guess so. Anyway, this is your primer bubble right here. I guess we don't have any leaks in it. If it's still holding that pressure, we don't have any leaks inside of the bubble itself. So at least we know the bubble is good. So that's a plus. We're going to set that to the side. Now we're going to turn to the carburetor. I will show you guys one time. This is your carburetor. That's your fuel line. And this is your throttle linkage, pretty much, that goes to the governor of the engine, and it pretty much revs it at a certain RPM. So all you have to do to get this carburetor off is take that gas line off first. Now you got to have something to either catch that gas or let it run off on something, because it will leak gas out of it, because there's no shutoff valve on it in between the line nowhere. It's no shutoff. So we're gonna take that line loose. Then after we get the line loose, then we'll take and get the throttle linkage loose once we pull the carburetor. So let me grab my pliers and we'll get that situated. Okay. And actually, I couldn't get my brother to be the cameraman because he don't know that I'm fixing it for him. Okay. So if you can see up in that line there, it's a clamp. Now I got that clamp back. And once you get the clamp back, you just pretty much just wiggle the line loose. So I'm going to set the camera back up, you guys, so you can see. Okay. And I'm going to just wiggle that line loose. If it don't come loose, you might have to use your pliers or so. It's okay, which I don't, these are not regular pliers, but they'll do. Well, let me grab my regulars. Okay, you guys, gotta check the other side. I can't go in the barn, because if I go back in the barn, then he gonna know I'm up to something, and he gonna, what you working on? And I don't want to tell him until I get it running first. Okay, you guys, so pull the carburetor off and get the line off. I guess I'm trying to be so quiet too. Well, okay. Well, it came off the tank end, so it's okay. But anyway, this is your carburetor. The line actually came off the wrong end. I wanted it to come off of this end here, but I don't know. And okay, all the gas is gonna leak out, so you just empty that carburetor out, emptying the water out of it. And you got 2 bolts at the bottom of your bowl, and those are going to be 7mm, as same as the ones inside of the carburetor housing. Then we're going to take those 2 loose. You will have a little gas come out of that bowl once you break those screws loose. It will have some gas come out of it. Okay, I'm gonna get me a seat here, get me a drink. power weight. Good. Good for the heat. Okay. And you just give it a little twist. And that bowl's full of gas, so we're gonna just dump it out on the ground. We don't need that in there. And you see that O-ring looks pretty good. Float and everything else look pretty good, so we're gonna take that floater loose. We're gonna take the float pin out. This is the float pin, so you want to sit that down to the side. This is your float, and this is your needle seat. Needle seat still look pretty good, so we're gonna sit all that to the side. Let me grab a piece of plastic so I can clean these parts off and put them on something. Okay, just a bag of do. Just something so you don't lose nothing, don't get dirt on it and stuff. And you know, I actually should be doing this in the barn, but it's a surprise. But I'm actually teaching you how to clean the carburetor. So we pulled the needle pin out. We pulled the float pin, the needle seat, and the float out. And we just got the base of the carburetor. So I'm just going to now take some carb cleaner and just spray it in there and just get that gritty looking stuff out of there. And then just shake it dry. This carb cleaner dissolves quick and dries up. So, okay. Now, if you look on these plastic carburetors, which this is a Craftsman bridge and strap motor, 450 series, 4.50 foot per pounds, a torque. It's a 125cc engine. So just your basic regular push mowers, but these have the plastic carburetors, and you actually got some that do have the aluminum housing carburetors. So, and also aluminum bowl. So once you spray that out, this is where your fuel inlet is. So you're just gonna take the carb cleaner and just put it inside of the inlet and spray it like that, and then you should get a spray down. Then you just take it and do it on the flip side. Be very cautious or wear soft safety glasses when you do this, because this stuff get in your eye, it will burn. And I mean, it's worse than mace. Okay, see how good that's coming out? I thought that was bro creeping up. See how good that's coming out of the hole? So you know it's getting fuel. So that's good. Now, second thing is, a lot of people be looking for the jets like, well, where's the main jet and the idling jet? Well, this little plastic piece, white, that sits at the bottom with this ball bearing ball inside of it, that's where your jets are. So you can just take a pair of pliers or something and pull it out. Don't grip too hard because you will break it, but just grip it a little and then just wiggle it out. That's all you do, is just wiggle it. See? And once it come out, then you have your main jets, your auto jets, you have all your different jettings. Now, that's where this little tool come in handy at. You can take this little tool here, flip it out, get the smallest one on there, second to the smallest, however you feel. And you take it out and put the rest of them in, close it up. Now, I have this little jet, and it took me 1 second to find. Actually, I have the sizes on the back, so I just take it and just run it in each one of them. Just run it in it and wiggle it. Once you get it inside of it, just wiggle it around. That's all you got to do. Once you get it inside, just wiggle it around, wiggle it around. And then once you do all of them, you just take your carb cleaner, and then you just blow them all out. Now, be very careful when you're dealing with those O-rings, because this stuff will mess an O-ring up. And you just take the carb cleaner and just spray inside each jet, and you just spray inside every hole you can see on it. Well, that didn't go quite right. I actually blew the needle housing set out of it. This little plastic piece here. this little plastic piece right here. And you have to make sure you have that line back up correctly. I will show you guys. They have a notch, a cut, and a hole in it. And what you do is, if you look inside, which I don't think you guys will be able to see inside of it, but if you look inside, the hole is to the bottom base of the carburetor. So when you're installing this piece back in, if it just so happen to come out, make sure you install the hole to the bottom, the hole towards the bottom. There might be a little hassle getting it back in there, but you'll get it. Just make sure you got the hole towards the bottom, because if not, your fuel won't be able to pull up. And it goes back in just like that. And you know, you just spray it out, clean it out a little bit, clean out the base and stuff, so you get no trash back in it. And once you do that, you take your jettings. These are all your jets. You take all your jets, and if you look down in there, you will see, if you forget how this go, if you look down in there, you will see a 3-hole slot. You will see one hole with a cover, one hole in the center, and one deep hole. If you can look in there and see it, if you had yours holding in your hand, you see 3 holes. And the side you would be holding up is the side that goes to the engine. So if the side that goes to the engine is facing away from you, then you would install this with the jet pointing towards the way it goes to the engine. And all you do is just put it in, away from the engine. All you do is put it in and snap it. That's it. And if this penumbra piece fall back out, you just flip it back around. Well, actually, you can't. That piece have to be installed before the jettings be installed. So we're going to put this piece back in it. Okay, come on, piece. Well, that was my jettings fail. I'll spray them back off. Yeah, that's the only thing about it. That's the only thing. You got to make sure this little piece here is lined back up correctly. If it's not lined back up correctly, you will have problems. Hit it on point. Okay, and you take your jettings. I'm going to spray these back off. Just spray them back off just in case it got a little grit on it. And if you're holding this thing pretty much upside down, this is the part that goes on the engine. If that part goes on the engine, the jet that you see, the only jet that you see, would be facing away from that. And all it do is just pushes and snap in. So we're going to try to turn this thing a little bit. You have to make sure it's lined up correctly. If it's not lined up correctly, it will not work for you. You have to make sure it's lined up correctly. It have to be lined up correctly. If it's not lined up correctly, it will not work. Just like that. Okay. Now, next we're going to take the float and just spray the float off. Just spray that off. Take the bowl and spray it out. Might have some grit in it. Take the needle seat, spray it off. Now, you slide the needle seat back onto the float. Just like that. You just slide it back onto the float. You're going to sit it inside of the needle seat itself. And then you're going to take the pin and slide the pin back through it. And make sure you got it about evened out. You know, don't have it like that or nothing like that. You know, try to even it out like that there. And test it. Take you some old carb cleaner and just spray it down. just in case any grit or grime got on it from your hand. Flips it back upside down. You're going to take and shake that out. Now, if you look at the bottom of that bowl, you will see an L shape at the bottom. That L shape will line up with the way that needle jet is facing. That way it'll bear the whole gas in the pocket and crank up. And you're just going to snap it on and turn it. That's it. Snap it on and turn it. And we're going to put the two 7mm bolts back in the bottom. Seven millimeter. Okay. Put the two 7mm bolt back in. Now what you're going to do is you're going to put the linkage rod on first. The throttle linkage rod. You're going to go ahead and fold the carburetor up and bend it back around. And go ahead and slide it on the engine base. Or you can put your hose on and then slide it on the engine base. Well, actually, since I got this one from sitting outside and stuff, I'm going to take and just spray a little carb cleaner in it. And then I'll take and just pour a little gas in it. Just to wash out anything that might have got into it. Okay. Just let it run out. And yes, guys, I have a fire extinguisher on hand because I know I'm a little dangerous working, but I have fire extinguishers and safeties and stuff on hand. I'm only actually probably about like not even much a mile from the nearest fire department station, and it's pretty much a headquarters station. So shout out to those guys. They would come save me most definitely. Okay, so I have the gas out of it. I'm gonna put my fuel line back on. I'm gonna put my clamp back on it with my little makeshift pliers, like actually a wire plier cutters, however. Okay, so I put the line back on, and now I'm gonna slide it back onto the engine. Okay, and once you do that, I guess you can put the other clip at the bottom of your gas tank, your fuel line. If that clamp came off or you took it off or something, just go ahead and replace it. That's just to save you from a future gas leak or anything. Okay, so now we down to the base of the air filter housing. We're gonna take and clean all that stuff out of there. See how that bubble look? Yep, and he caught me. All right, we're gonna try to play this off, but on your air breather, just clean it out. Like I said, check your pressure, make sure you got some air pressure, and you know, just make sure everything pretty much good and solid with it, and you can go ahead and slap it back on. Now remember to put your PVC valve back on at the top, because that pretty much takes the blow by from the engine. Well, we have a spectacular guest just come up, so gonna let him speak.
Y'all form flexing, huh? All right, all right.
Yeah, we just fixing a little more we got down from the local dealer. So you guys, I have that back on. Remember, those are the two 7mm screws that go there, and these are the two 5/16 that go there. So we're gonna put those in right quick.
Doing an old carburetor job?
Yeah, it was cranking up with a little fuel, but it wouldn't stay running, so just went on, decided to just clean it out. It's actually for a buddy of mine, I think, but I don't know. I don't know if he still wants it. All right, so I got those four back in, two 7mm, two 5/16. Just gonna go on and tighten them up. Oh yeah, this is my Duralast set. Nah, it's a cheap one, but it's gonna do it last. Well, it lasts is me. I guess until it gets to something it can't handle. So I guess they say never bite off more than they can chew. All right, well, got them in. We're gonna tighten up those 2 7mm bolts. We're gonna put some gas in her, and we're gonna see what she do. And any questions, comments, whatever, drop them down below, and I answer them, and you know, see what we got going on. If there's anything else y'all want to see me break down and work on, and you know, we'll check it out and see what we can get going with it. Get this stuff back, and we're gonna put some gas in her and see what she can do. Use a funnel, guys. Don't do it like me. Like I said, the local fire department love me, so they will come save me. So, you know, y'all just use safety first. And remember the safety goggles, because this is worse than mace.
Oh, yes.
All right, we're gonna see what she do. Dump a little gas off of her, add some water in it. Let's see what she do. Uh-oh. Well, I did my best. I don't know. All right, guys, we're gonna put the air filter on and see if that makes a difference. It's dirty. It needs to be cleaned and stuff too. So, might be doing another carburetor job after sucking all this trash in. Don't almost look like it go with it. All right, let's see what we can do. You too.
See what a nice clean carburetor will get you. Get you on the right track, I'll tell you that.